Good evening and thanks for joining us for 41 NBC News at 11. I'm Ariel Schiller. Tucker Sargent has the night off. Our top story tonight at 11, international investigations into potential war crimes and atrocities committed by Russia and Ukraine are underway. Probes the U.S. State Department says it fully supports. And now a senior U.S. defense official says most of Ukraine is covered by some sort of Russian surface-to-air missile capabilities. Cole Higgins has the latest.
Back-to-back explosions ringing out from the darkness and lighting up the pitch-black sky in the Ukrainian city of Mykolaiv, where people resisting Russia's lethal invasion are setting up tires at the city's entrances to set ablaze when Russian forces approach.
We will fight and defend our land no matter what the price.
Despite using all of the forces it had concentrated in and around Ukraine, Russia is still making very little progress. NATO's current intelligence assessment suggests Russian forces are unlikely to make much progress in the foreseeable future.
He has no sustainable political endgame in the face of what is going to continue to be fierce resistance from Ukrainians.
Our analysts assess that Putin is unlikely to be deterred by such setbacks and instead may escalate, essentially doubling down to achieve Ukrainian disarmament and neutrality, to prevent it from further integrating with the U.S. and NATO if it doesn't reach some diplomatic negotiation. We assess Putin feels aggrieved the West does not give him proper deference and perceives this as a war he cannot afford to lose.
A top U.S. State Department official says she believes the war will only end
when Putin realizes that this adventure has put his own leadership standing at risk with his own military, with his own people.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Russia proposed another ceasefire in 5 Ukrainian cities and other smaller towns starting Wednesday at 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Ukrainian armed forces acknowledged Russia's proposal and added, quote, "It is difficult to trust the occupier." Now to the war's impact on the U.S. economy and your wallet. Gas prices have soared to the highest national average in history, $4.17 a gallon. But the pinch for Americans goes far beyond the pump. NBC's Sam Brock explains.
This morning, gas prices soaring to the highest average ever recorded, $4.17 a gallon.
I just filled up right now, and it cost me $50 versus normally it costing me $30.
Up 10 cents in just one day and 55 cents since last week, eclipsing the previous record of $4.10 a gallon set 14 years ago.
I haven't seen prices to this increased level.
Though gas prices were already climbing before the war in Ukraine, they're now spiking because of worries about global oil supplies. Russia, whose economy is heavily dependent on energy exports, accounts for about 1/10 of the available oil in the market. That price surge causing worries on Wall Street. The S&P 500 shed 3% Monday, its sharpest daily drop since October 2020. Investors, in part spooked by Capitol Hill lawmakers preparing to ban all Russian energy imports.
I think it's important to take this step.
And when stocks drop and gas prices rise, everybody feels the pinch.
As the price of oil and gas going up has an inflationary impact unlike anything else in the American economy.
Even affecting travel, with spring and summer vacations around the corner. Airfares are way up, with demand soaring as jet fuel costs continue to rise. And the prices hitting businesses already hurting from record inflation.
When you talk about the food truck industry, food and gasoline, is that a double whammy?
100% is. Everything is going crazy high right now.
This as the rise in gas could just be getting started.
To help with historic gas prices, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says he's working to suspend the state's gas tax, which would help lower gas prices by nearly 30 cents a gallon. He tweeted this afternoon in part, quote, "Due to a total failure of leadership in Washington, we are actively working with the Georgia House and Senate to temporarily suspend the state's motor fuel tax and lessen the significant impact higher gas prices are having on Georgia families. Because of our strong, fiscally conservative budgeting, I'm confident we will be able to provide relief to hardworking Georgians," end quote. In other news around Georgia, Democrat Stacey Abrams officially qualified to run again for governor. Abrams said today she's trying to do what's right for Georgia after losing narrowly to Governor Kemp in 2018. She does not yet have any declared Democratic opposition. Abrams says the issues she's running on haven't changed, with Medicaid expansion at the top of the list. Here in Middle Georgia, the Malice murder trial of Demarcus Little began today in Peach County. Little is accused of killing Fort Valley State University student Anitra Gunn in February of 2020. She was last seen on Valentine's Day, and search crews would later find her body in a wooded area in Crawford County. This morning, the prosecution gave opening statements saying Little knew exactly where to find Anitra's body.
Demarcus Little drives Anitra Gunn's vehicle out to that wooded plot of land off Greer Road in Crawford County. He admits to dumping her body, disposing it, covering it with some limbs and debris.
Little's attorney did not make any opening statements and said the defense called its first witness to the stand. In Macon-Bibb County, the fire department is investigating what led to a fire at a vacant building on Coliseum Drive. Battalion Chief Todd Ollygood says crews responded to the building at around 10:30 this morning. He says the fire broke out on the second and third floors, and crews worked to stop the flames from spreading to other areas of the building.
It's fairly common that we come here. I've been here 3 or 4 times in the last couple months. Usually it's small spot fires. This time it got away.
Chief Ollygood says no one was inside at the time of the fire, and the incident remains under investigation. And in Houston County, 2 people are dead after a morning crash in Warner Robins. Police say it happened just before 5 a.m. along Watson Boulevard near Austin Avenue. Police report a Chevrolet Sonic was speeding when it left the road and hit a concrete pole. The vehicle then caught fire. Investigators are still working to identify the victims tonight. In other local news, 22 people will now serve on the Macon-Bibb County Bicentennial Committee. Commissioners appointed them during today's Committee of the Whole meeting. Most of the appointees were in attendance. Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller said people were chosen from lists submitted by commissioners, and there will be one more vote next Tuesday, and then members will get copies of the ordinance and an explanation of their responsibilities. The countdown to the 40th Annual International Cherry Blossom Festival is ticking away. This morning, Macon-Bibb County Commissioners heard from past festival chair Alex Habersham. He talked about the impact of the festival and what people can expect this year. He says this will be the most exciting festival yet, and that it wouldn't be possible without the support of county leaders.
The Cherry Blossom Festival has an economic impact annually of $3 million. With just several 100,000 people coming to the festival. So it really means a lot to this community.
I am so excited. The 40th International Cherry Blossom Festival begins March 18th and goes until March 27th. And happening now, you can watch the cherry blossoms bloom in real time. Visit Macon and Wesleyan College are teaming up to bring back their Macon Bloom Cam. Now people all over the world can log on and watch the trees in Fickling Grove on the Wesleyan campus. Macon is home to around 350,000 cherry trees. There's a link to the Bloom Cam and all things cherry blossom on our website, 41NBC.com. Still ahead on 41 NBC News at 11, a Wilkinson County town can double in size thanks to a new development company. See what properties in Toomsboro are slated for the change. Plus, NFL defensive end Montravius Adams heads home to Dooley County, and we were there as he surprised the community during his annual Family Fun Day. And the Mercer baseball team upsets a ranked opponent yet again. This time, an in-state foe, Arshaz Pirani, will have highlights later in sports.
In high definition, this is 41 NBC News at 11.
A town in Wilkinson County will soon see major development thanks to a recent purchase. Toomsboro Development Corporation announced it is closing a deal to purchase 70 acres of the city on Thursday. We spoke with the CEO of the company, Warren Crawley, about his vision for the property. Crawley says several of the abandoned buildings will get a new face. He says the goal is to create more jobs and bring affordable housing to the area.
Our goal is to take Toomsboro and make it a model city. We're going to recycle everything from, make biofuel to building materials, glass countertops, you name it. I mean, that's the goal, is to keep everything in-house.
The developers say they hope to start construction in the next 2 months. Now it's time to get a look at our weather. Here's 41 NBC AccuWeather Chief Meteorologist Cecilia Reeves. Cecilia, I know it was pretty cold and not so great of weather today. What are we expecting for the upcoming days? Welcome back. Dooley County High School state champ and Pittsburgh Steelers defensive end Montravius Adams returned to his hometown to give back to the community. He returned to Dooley County High School for his annual Family Fun Day. Adams talked to students about his journey to the NFL and how Dooley County helped shape him. Adams says he loves football, but taking care of his family is what is most important to him.
As long as I'm taking care of my family, I'm taking care of the ones that I love from my city, and I'm taking care of the women from my nonprofit, man, it's a blessing. Like, there's nothing else I want to do.
Adams surprised students with food, gaming trucks, and giveaways to finish the day. He also plans to surprise 3 high school seniors with $2,000 scholarships. And Vienna Mayor Eddie Daniels signed a proclamation declaring March 8th officially Montravius Adams Day. And it's time now to head over to 41 NBC's Shaz Pirani for a look at sports. Shaz?